Hey onesies, Josh Williams here, and thanks for checking out this week's episode of the One Man Podcast. It's always free and available on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, and many more, as well as on the web at onemanpodcast.com. So please, whatever platform you're listening on, like and subscribe. While you're at it, give it a rating, leave a review. Why? Because it helps the podcast, and I'd really appreciate it. How about that? What about social media? Search One Man Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to keep up with what's going on there. Get a little extra content for yourself. And finally, to get in touch, please send your emails to contact@onemanpodcast.com. You send it, I read it on the podcast. That's the deal. Thanks for listening, guys, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode.
What's up, everybody? This is DJ Demers.
I'm K. Trevor Wilson.
Hey, it's Krista Allen.
Hi, this is Rick Mercier.
What's up, guys? This is Paul Verzi, and you are listening to the One Man Podcast. Yeah!
My name is Josh Williams, and welcome to the One Man Podcast, episode number 186 for Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. How's it going, onesies? How are you guys doing? Having a good week so far? Enjoying your lives? I did some PS5 merching with my buddy Jad. Then we hit up the old Costco in Quebec. It's so funny. It's Quebec, but people say like Quebec, like there's a W in it there. Who's messaging me? I just started my podcast, for the love of criminy. Sorry. Soon. Hey, I can't even spell when I'm in a hurry. All right. Tell you guys about that. I got one of those meal boxes. My buddy sent me a meal box, and I will tell you guys all about what that was like. I finished the game Uncharted. I did that one. What else did I do? Helped out a buddy. I'm all caught up like everybody else on the old Mandalorian. That's a fun show. Liking that a whole heck of a lot. And, what else? I got some, I did one of the meals with my pal I went to visit her. What else did I do? Geez, I got a bunch of stuff done. I've had nothing but errands. And now I'm headlining Absolute Comedy from the 2nd to the hell date is it? I think like the 6th. I said it last week, and I've forgotten it already. Guys, man, am I ever organized? I'm trying to bang this out. I don't know about you guys. A new Apple update, and it's like, it doesn't matter which way you swipe your finger. If you're like a quarter of an inch somewhere different on the phone, the goddamn thing does a completely different, I think my calendar's the one I had at the bottom. The 2nd to the 6th. Yeah, so I knew it, and I just had to go through it again. And the reason I'm changing is because my notes were completely different before, because I was supposed to be headlining next week. But then somebody canceled, and Jay moved some shit around, and now I'm bailing them out, guys. I'm bailing out Absolute Comedy because they had a headliner cancel. You know who's Johnny Professional? This fucking guy, right? You need me, I'm there. God damn it. So I'll tell you guys about all this goofy shit. So I got some stickers. I'm getting some stickers done, available for pickup on Friday morning. So I'll have those to give away to people, and some One Man Podcast stuff for you guys. Let me know if you want some stuff. I'll throw those into envelopes and send them your way. But anyways, I'm picking that up this week. I don't even know how much stuff I got. I know that I'm giving books away. As I mentioned last week, I gave my copy of Behind the Horror to my pal Paul Meyerhaw. And yeah. So I sent Red a book a while back, my pal Vanessa, who co-hosts with me from time to time. And I sent her a copy of The Gunslinger. I talked about it in the podcast. But inside, like, I just printed this thing that was like, hey, this was sent to a listener of the One Man Podcast. Because I basically just said, hey, I'm done with it. If anyone wants it, let me know. And I was like, hey, I've got all these books and I'm reading more now. So I'm kind of like, well, when I'm done a book, I would love to just give it away. But, I wanted to put a little thing in it that's like, hey, this was given to one of my listeners or whatever. And, please enjoy and just keep it moving. If you're done with it, don't throw it away or stick it on your shelf, never to be revisited. Keep it moving. Give it to somebody else. Let someone else enjoy it. I'd like to know that my books and things will have a second and third and fourth, hopefully, life. And at the same time, if someone's like, oh, what's this book laying here on a coffee shop? That would be great. Unfortunately, with the time of COVID, you can't just do that anymore. You can't just be like, I'm just going to leave this book here on a table in a coffee shop, and maybe its new owner will find it. Like like the dog's purpose or whatever, where it's like, I just keep getting reincarnated and finding my master again. Only it'll be like, you know, I don't know. It's funny because like pre-COVID, almost my entire life, my mom got it in my head early that like buying books in a used bookstore is like dirty. Like I remember we used to have these book fairs at our school where just piles and piles of old books. I find old books have an undesirable smell. I don't like the smell of old books. Some people do. Some people need to crack a comic book and smell it, or crack a book and smell it. I saw that on Comic Book Men years ago. It's like almost like a Pawn Stars of comic book and geeky nerdy shit. And the Action Comics, the first one with Superman, I think it was like Action Comics number 38 or something like that. First superhero ever was Superman in that comic. And I think they were on Comic Book Man, and they were at some guy's collection or some museum, and the guy had one of the original printings of it. And they're like, can you take it out and can we smell it? And he like opens the book, and the guy like, he's like, it's just like, that's his thing, smelling. Someone else is like, no, I get that. I get the smelling of comics. Like, I just remember that. Anyways, that came to mind when I was talking about like smelling books. But, yeah, I just, buying used books was always a thing to me. So, and then my mom was like, yeah, sometimes used books will have like bugs or something. I don't know what the fuck she was talking about now. I don't think I've ever seen a case of bugs in books, but maybe just like, I don't know, it's paper. It's the same reason my dad asked me the other day, he's like, you know, you don't read in the bathroom. And I was like, no, that's fucking, to me, that's so gross. Again, I'm trying not to be like judgy. Like I get that there's so many people, you know, I've been watching Married with Children too, as of late, just on Prime there. And just like the amount of times, like that old thing, you know, Al Bundy will just reach over, grab the newspaper, tuck it under his arm, and you know where he's going, right? There's a thing about just in the bathroom and reading. I get it. I've also talked about how I don't get how people are in there long enough to actually need reading material. You know, if you're sitting there and you're like, well, I'm going to go for a poop, could come in anytime now. You know, it's like, if it's not ready, it's not ready. You know, if you sit down and it's not already on its way out, like my brain is like, whose poop is coming out? So like the only excuse to be on the toilet before it's actually coming out, excuse me, is that it's out. It's like, it's on its way out. It's actually coming out like a Play-Doh Fun Factory or whatever. But how are you in there for half an hour? Like how slow is that coming out? Is it slowly like, just like those lines of resolution when the internet first came out and you were trying to download a picture and it was just like one line and then another little line of resolution, just the slowest, you know, like a fucking old printer. It's just one line at a time. Your crap's coming out of you super slow and you're like, yeah, I can't get up. It's already there. It's not broken off. I'm not going to wiggle it loose. Like, I don't know. What the fuck are you doing in the bathroom? If you're not shitting, there's no way it's coming out that slow. I don't believe it for a second. That's a joke. But you're just sitting there, nothing's happening. The only thing I can understand is like you want a break from the wife and kids. I just want some peace and quiet. When I'm in the old stink box, nobody bothers me. You know what I mean? So I'm all business. I don't like being in a closet with shit smell. Turn on the fan. Yeah, it doesn't work most of the time. Not the fan, just in general. Like, there's still that shit smell. I've talked about people going there, spray stuff. It's disgusting to me. It's a box or a room smells of shit. And don't spray pumpkin spice or apple cinnamon or lilac. You're just going to make me hate those smells too. All right, I get it. It's shit. I still smell shit, but now I smell lilac too. And now I'm going to associate shit with lilac, shit with apple, shit with pumpkin. Things I like. I don't need to create those conditions in my head. So just fuck off. I go in there, I shit. I suck it up for the minute or two that I'm in there. I'm ready to go. I got to poop. Go in, give her the old solid push. All right. You got to wonder about those guys. Are those the guys that you're going to want in a situation that requires like action? You know what I mean? Maybe that's the barometer. When you're dating the guy, see how long he spends in the bathroom. You're like, if he's a fucking ambitious go-getter, he's not wasting 40 minutes of his day just sitting in the bathroom waiting for the poop to come. Right? That's like the guy who's waiting for the phone to ring. He's a fucking loser. I'm telling you that right now, ladies. What the fuck was my first point of all of this? Oh yeah, I'm getting stickers for my books. Speaking of which, I'm gonna finish this point, but I had to write it down when I finished the last episode on this week's sheet because I was just sitting there going, I was reading my notes and I was like, oh fuck, I never got back to that. Anyways, the point is, I don't like reading in the bathroom. It's gross. It's a room that often has humidity, right? Like I got 3 roommates. There's 4 of us total in the house, and people are in there showering all the time and this and that. And it's just like, I'm not going to go to a room that's got humidity, bring paper in. Oh yeah, let's get a big pack of paper so that the humidity can wet the book and then it can absorb all the smells of the bathroom so that I can lay in bed later and read this and just smell all of the horrible food choices that my roommates make in processed, disgusting devil's pudding form. That's disgusting. It's fucking gross. So again, if you're a bathroom reader kind of guy, like again, yes, I'm aware that I have, preached Uncle John's bathroom readers for a long time. I don't read them in the bathroom. That's merely oh God, it's so gross. Whereas like I've seen them on the back of the toilet at my parents' place, my mom's place, and my dad was there. He had one on the back of the toilet. It's just like, ugh. We were talking about it. Like I try, like, here's the thing. I hate tomatoes. I'm not going to judge you for eating them. They're disgusting to me. So I'm not trying to like shame people who read in the bathroom. I just don't understand it. And to me, it's absolutely disgusting. You know what I mean? Yet masturbating's not. Masturbating's free fun. No, but, the thing that I forgot to tell you guys about is, the point of that was I'm getting stickers, cause the thing I printed and taped in Red's thing looks like, it didn't look like shit. It just wasn't nice. So now I've got stickers. I can fucking peel it off, stick it in the thing. Hey, thanks so much for, finding this and pass it on to someone who may enjoy it afterwards and consider subscribing to the podcast. Hey, boom, little free ad for me in a book. If I'm giving something away, I'm going to try to get something back out of it. God damn it. There's not a selfless bone in my body. No, I'm joking. I just dig it, man. Dig it. Get that podcast. I also got some other stickers that are just, promoting the podcast that I can put up places. I'm getting more little, promo cards for the podcast and all sorts of fun shit like that. And, hey, guys, if you're enjoying any of this and, someone else who's just kind of puttering around that could maybe use a laugh or maybe just to pick me up in their own life, that listen to me and go, this guy's got fucking problems. Thank God I'm not living that way. Right, honey? Huh? We still fuck each other, right? You still like it? Yeah, you do. Come on, don't give me that. You like it. Yeah, well, you're no fucking prize either. All right? See you kind of, the numbers going up on the scale, huh? I'm sorry. You didn't need that. It just pissed me off. I don't got a lot going for me. I used to think, hey, boom, I'm the fucking man in the bed. And I ask you, hey, you're happy? And you sit there and you give me that fucking look? What, like I didn't have a fucking hard day? All right? I ask you for a little bit of confidence in my bedroom abilities. Make a little fucking joke, figure we'll both have a laugh. You go, oh, that better. Right? I throw one back your way. You fucking, I'm supposed to take it on the chin. You can't? You don't have a sense of humor? Yeah? The future's female. You guys got way better senses of humor than we do. Women are just as funny as men. Can't take a fucking joke. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking sleep on the couch. I don't care. Whatever my point was. So, that's annoying. That's annoying. So yeah, anyways, I got that stuff there. Boopity boop 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 buddy bop squeep. So I forgot to finish my review of Black Christmas. Garbage movie. And then I went off on the women and then this and that, which I didn't go against them. I was just saying that like, hey, it's a movie the movie clearly had an agenda. It wasn't, it was more of a Me Too movie than it was a horror movie. It's stupid, absolutely stupid. I'm absolutely going to spoil stuff in this review. So if you're like, oh, it's Black Christmas, been up for a few years and I just really wanted to see it, it's garbage. Now, the problem I have is not because they try to bring attention to like the women, the issue of women's sexual assault and things like that. It was just so over the top, man hating. Like you couldn't take it seriously. And I preached last week about how like, it's really nice when you try to like, when people who don't take the issue seriously, like kind of open their minds a little bit, but it's also like, you can't have shit like this and expect, people to take your cause seriously. So this was like, it was directed by a woman and it was obvious. I would have bet the farm on it was directed by a woman before the ending credits came up. And then when they did, I go, of course. So here was the thing. And I know probably ladies, you're going to check out on me immediately. I hope that I have proven to you in the past that I'm a fucking ally. I'm on everybody's side. My biggest issue with everything is, like, if you're trying to push the message, make the message accessible. This one I find falls so far from the mark that it just makes it that, like, I don't know. It seems like what my ignorant friends would call woke bullshit. And it isn't. There is important stuff that they're trying to get by, but they just lay it on so thick that you can't take it seriously. Like, so here's the idea. It's like, someone's going around and killing these bitches. That's the premise. Some motherfuckers killing these bitches. Then it's like, there are these women in a fraternity or a sorority, sorry. And there's this, fraternity guys, and they, the women have this little pageant that they're going to put on. 'Cause one of them is like, oh my God, I'm going to see Bobby from last year or 2 years ago or whatever. I guess the premise is that she was drugged and sexually assaulted, which is not cool. That's a thing that happens. It happens way more than most of us men are aware of. And the problem with that is that, men, the good men who are on your side, ladies, are so shocked. Like, I'm not saying that, whatever. I'm not afraid of you. I don't give a fuck. If you think I'm a bad guy, then I'm not going to be anything other than what you think I am. But what I mean is, as a guy who would never dream of raping a woman or sexually assaulting a woman or whatever, like, for me, when I heard these numbers, I had a really hard time accepting that was true. Only because in my world, in my head and everything, I would never dream of that. So it was like telling me that, like, 1 in 3 guys is like a rapist. I was like, what? I know so many people that I would never dream would be that way. Like, we're always finding out people are shit, but I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I'm not saying that's the real statistic, but it's just like, that's the feeling that it was like, everyone's, you know, and when women telling us that if you didn't believe every single person that said it, then you were automatically, what was called a rape apologist. And I was like, that's crazy. So for me, I was like, okay, so I was having a hard time believing that these numbers were accurate, not because because I choose not to believe women. And I think that, you know, I'm trying to protect rapists. It's very disappointing to know that these numbers are the way they are. It's just like, holy shit, I didn't realize so many fucking guys were like that. It also made it scary, for a lot of guys to think that, like, cause if you're like, well, that seems high, you know, your brain goes like, well, that seems high. So, I mean, and obviously nothing in life, I don't know. It's such a fucking hard topic. That's why I said, like, there was so much room for this movie to do something good. And it made shit so over the top man hating that you're like, okay, like, every guy in the movie at some point, whether he was on their side, good or not, was told at some point that he was the worst. You know, you're fucking this and you need to go away. You're a piece of, it's like, it was so insane. Like, every woman in the movie was righteous. Every man in the movie was the worst. So when that shit happens, you're like, you're polarizing. You're not going to win anybody over. Like, they had this really cool scene where, like, the women were singing like this up on the rooftop, like that, but they sing that tune, but like up in the frat house, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, what you did was called assault, like that kind of shit. And it was cool. Like, it was well written. And it was like, these women were, you know, basically publicly accusing a guy of sexually assaulting them, which a little bit of a, you know, Bill Burr has a great thing in his last album where he's like, oh, if women were in charge, there'd be no wars. It's like, yeah, I guess there'd also be no due process either, you know, because I guess the new rule is you're guilty as soon as the accusation happens. What I was going to say earlier is that it's just one of those things too, where, like, not 100% of stories that are told are true. And I think it's absolutely appalling that there's been so many women who've been assaulted and have not come forward because the reaction is that no one's going to listen to them and it hurts their chances in their career and stuff. And I think that's fucking awful. Unfortunately, the problem is too that instead of creating a dialogue, so many women jumped on everything in a negative and was like, every man that doesn't believe us instantly is a rape apologist. And there's a strategy, a psychological strategy when doing that. It's manipulative. It's like saying to someone, I'll give you a small example. It's like saying to somebody, this movie's good, and if you don't think it is, you're stupid. So before I've even told you what I think, maybe not movie, but it's like, oh, this food is delicious, and if you don't like it, then you have no taste. So basically, before I've even given you my opinion or my thoughts on it, you've told me that if I don't like it, I'm stupid. So you're basically manipulating me into going, well, I have to say I like it, or you've already told me that I'm stupid. So you're making me feel attacked before I've even chimed in. You're basically telling me what it is. Like, I'm right if I do this, if I'm wrong that. So if you don't believe women right away, you're a rape apologist. Well, that's not the case. I don't apologize for people who are raping. I'm not protecting the rapists. Not at all. It's a horrible fucking thing, and I believe that we should talk about it. But I think that this system that we've developed, where you blindly listen to some people and you immediately vilify the others, I think that's fucked up. I don't think that that's the winning strategy to get everybody on board. And unfortunately, that's what you need in order to move forward and to progress, is you need everybody on the same side of it. You can't have people going, well, I don't think this way and that way. You're never going to get progress. And we can have one group that thinks a certain way and another group that thinks another. Democrats, Republicans, perfect example. No dialogue. My guy's right, your guy's wrong. That's it. That's just how they think, and it never progresses because of it. Atheists are fucking blowhards when it comes against religion. Religious types, are so ignorant to their own religion. For the vast majority of them are so ignorant of their own religion that you can't even have a conversation with them. They don't even know their own religion's rules. I know shitloads of Jews that eat pork, Muslims that drink and smoke, and I'm a Muslim. No, you're not. You're not following the rules. You're agnostic. You believe in something more, and your things lean towards that. But unfortunately, if you don't subscribe to, if you do X, Y, and Z, then that's breaking the rules of religion. You can't get a job and go, I know you're asking me to show up 5 days a week, but I'm going to do 3. Am I still employed here? No? Oh, shocking. I'm shocked. I identify as a 5-day-a-week worker, but I'm only going to work 3 because I'm a fucking idiot. Not an idiot. You know what you are is you're ignorant is what you are. You think that you can just pick and choose which rules and say, I'm still a part of this. Well, no, you believe in some of it and you completely ignore others to your tastes, because it affects you personally, just like picking a political party, just like what gender you belong to, what race you belong to, or you identify as, or whatever it is. There's so much shit that's absolutely insane. And you can't call anybody in it because of the masses will sharpen their pitchforks and come at you for it. And it's just, this movie was like I said, to me, it was a missed opportunity. Watch me do it again. I go off on my tangent, completely forget to review the movie. So the idea was, these women are getting killed. One woman was sexually assaulted. They're all yelling at every guy that they can. Like, this new guy, he's being looked at sideways. The boyfriend of one of the girls in the sorority, asks a question about assault, and the fucking girlfriend loses her shit on him and kicks him out of the house right away. And he comes back to apologize. And it's like, what? He wasn't unreasonable. I can't really remember everything he said in the scene, but it was like, he wasn't being unreasonable. If he was being a prick, I'd be like, yeah, he was being a fucking prick. I had a conversation with a woman who worked in a center for women who had been abused, like a battered women's shelter, I believe was what the terminology that she used. And I was asking questions and she was educating me and she was having a good conversation. This was years ago too. And then the girl was talking about a woman who had been hit or whatever. She'd been in an abusive relationship. And then, so the server was walking by and thought he was being funny. He's like, well, that's what happens when you don't do what you're told. And she got really angry at him. And it was something stupid. She got really angry at him and he didn't like being told and he kicked her out, which was fucking stupid because I was like, this is somebody I actually want to talk to and learn some stuff. But if you're being a prick or you're trying to be, you're not taking this seriously or whatever, if it's a serious conversation, I get being yelled at. Yeah, you're in the wrong. This guy wasn't in the wrong. He asked a question and it was like, the punishment for asking a question is, no, you're done. Holy fuck, 23 minutes. Yeah, it's like, no, you're done. Fuck you and this and that. So whatever. So in the movie, every man was bad, whatever. And then here's what happened. The killers, the people who are killing women, are from a fraternity secret society that has seen the professor, by the way, there's a professor and other faculty involved as well. This is a secret society of men who have have seen that women are starting to take over the world, and the evil men need to stop them. So they have this like blood oath that they take that allows them to become mindless zombies and this and that. So like whenever this person shows up to kill someone, it could just be any of these guys. But all the men in the fraternities are all a part of this secret society, and it's they see the strength of women. Women are finally starting to rise up, and they can't have that because it threatens all manhood. And so these men are all going around killing women because they see the way women. The dumbest shit I've ever heard. It was, again, like, that's your plot. Men are intimidated by women, so we create a secret society to keep you down, and all the women are heroes, and every guy even the guys who are like helping to save them from these cults are too weak-willed at times, and every question they ask, they're horrible. Like, it's just, I'm like, you lost me. Sorry, but if you're going to take a movie and be like, every guy's a piece of shit, every woman is a goddamn hero and brave, so brave. There are women who are brave, who actually take a fucking chance and try to do the right thing. And it is the right thing. You know, it's funny that we make excuses. It's funny that we make excuses for people and be like, well, they could have, hurt themselves in their career if they came forward. Okay, so you're choosing self-preservation. But if a guy saw something bad happen and chose self-preservation because I don't want to be the only guy who outs the other guys, then you're seen as culpable and guilty by proxy, or, see something, say something. To say nothing is to be guilty. Like, how is it possible that one group of people get a pass on something and others don't? And that's why, in my opinion, the shit's not moving forward as fast as it could, because we've got double standards for everything. I'm not shitting on you women. I'm not. I'm trying to say that you guys need to talk to each other, because if men, let's olive branch. Let's say men are the dumber, more ape-like gender. Okay? Let's just say that. Then why do you expect us to do all the compromising? Why are you expecting men to do all the being open-minded and being calm and having a dialogue when we ask questions and we try to ally and you yell at us, you tell us we're apologists, you tell us we're wrong right away before we've even had a chance. You go, no, if you do not believe every single story someone is telling you, you are automatically a rape apologist. Now go ahead and speak. Wow, what a great structure and guideline and area you've created for me to operate within. I either believe everybody with no due process, or I'm a rape apologist. Those are the options you've laid forward for me. Wow, what a great warm conversation that I would want to be a part of. Let's progress together now that you've told me that I have, like, I'm sorry, but there's people out there, and listen, I'm not saying all women are like this. I'm saying, you know what, let's just put the smart ones with the smart guys. We'll have the conversations, the loud ones, the ones that want to go on Instagram and this and that. And the same with men. Listen, I'm not apologizing for men. I'm going to start right off by saying there's a big group of fucking guys that are the fucking worst. To sexually assault someone, to hit someone, to do any of those horrible things, just even berate a woman or to keep her down just because she's a woman. You could have a guy never sexually assaulted a woman, never raped anyone, whatever it is, never beat a woman, but he just every day does everything he can to keep women down. That guy's a piece of shit. I think my position, before everyone fucking sharpens their pitchforks at me, my position is, it's just, I see the solutions there, the mutual, and I think that's why it bothers me, is that I'm a guy who's always found women strong, who's always respected women. I've never sexually assaulted women. The strongest people I've ever known in my life were women. So I'm not going to say they're the strongest. I also know strong men too. But I'm saying there's good people inside, and for this conversation now to be like I said, this movie is hurting the conversation by being like, all men are evil, so to the extent that they've created a secret society to keep women down. Oh my God, that's fucking bullshit. Like, that's too far. Have a movie that explores the sexual assault shit and shows them like what really happens. Like, I don't know, take your opportunity to actually show something not so fucking far-fetched that no one's going to take it seriously. So you dismiss all of it, including the assault that happened from the fraternity. That's what I'm saying, is that like you have legitimate grievances, women. You have legitimate, and it's been way too long they've been addressed. Unfortunately, the mascots that you're fucking letting run their mouths, I'm calling them mascots, not representatives or ambassadors, because they're acting like neither of those. They're acting like fucking goofy, ridiculous mascots who are going, all men are rape apologists. All men are the worst. All men. It's like, okay, can't hear that, because guess what? Psychologically speaking, when someone feels attacked, they attack back. And maybe you need that. I don't know. I've said to guys before, I'm like, well, if you feel like you're being unfairly treated because of your gender, then understand that that's kind of the way it's been for women forever. However, that's not an appropriate, just because well, now you know how it feels. Unfortunately, that's not an intelligent, enlightened, strategic method of getting your message across, because that's abusive. You'll learn in any relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they do something to you that upsets you, when you do it back to them, that's abusive. I'm not saying that they're free and clear of it initially, but if someone like leaves their socks laying around and you go out of your way to like leave shit around to piss them off, if your goal is to do it to piss other people off, that's abusive behavior. It's not physically abusive, but it's abusive. And the way that you combat that is you tell them, hey, I really don't like it when you leave your socks laying around. It bothers me. It makes me feel like you don't care about the space. I'd really appreciate if you change that. That's not abuse. You tell somebody, hey, listen, guys, just so you know, it's been really hard for us to come forward because you don't believe us when you tell us. And we understand that not every fucking case is absolute truth. Unfortunately, I'm not saying that. It's every rape. You listen to every woman who says it is telling the truth. They're not. That's just statistically impossible. So you're saying that for someone to look at something with due process, everyone who says that someone hit them. Everyone who says that someone tried to murder them, definitely tried to murder them. Everyone that says that somebody stole something from them, definitely stole something. It's insane. That's insane. And unfortunately, men are very logical. Women are emotional. And there's nothing wrong with that. Men are very logical creatures. If you come to us and you make a statement that has no logic to it, and I'm not saying that there's no truth, but there's no logic. Every woman who says she was assaulted was absolutely assaulted. That's not a logical statement. That's not a true statement, and it's not a logical statement. You come to a logical being and say, hey, this, and we go, I don't see that. I don't think so. Now, don't me wrong too. Yeah, whatever. I've exhausted it. I've exhausted this fucking subject. I've had this conversation with several people. There's so many smart people in my life. So many people who are like, yeah, I get it. What are you going to do? You're going to walk in front of that firing squad and have them just cut you down and it's funny because they're cutting down people who are on their side. Like, I'm on women's side. My frustration comes with, let's change the presentation so we can get more people to listen. If you haven't understood that from what I'm saying thus far, you don't fucking get it. I'm not saying women shut up. I'm not saying don't say. I'm saying, can we change the dialogue so it doesn't sound so it's either A or B or that's it. Like, you need to get people to understand that, like, yes, way more of this shit happens than you think. Message number 1. Agreed? Question mark? Contact at onemanpodcast.com. Send me an email. Right? Question number or item number 1 on the docket is this happens way more than you think. Item number 1. That was the first thing that I had to get through my head. Was like, holy shit, this is not like, hey, 1 in 10,000 women may experience a rape. It's like, holy shit, that number's way bigger. It's happening way more often. And that, to me, that blew my mind. I didn't know it. It's never been my experience. That blew my mind. I have to understand what it's like to be a woman, which as a male, I'll never know. And for the record, ladies, you're not guys. You don't know what it's like to be a guy. So respectfully, shut the fuck up about that too. Don't tell me what it's like to be a guy. Don't tell me I'm dumb. Don't tell me what it's like to have a dick. Don't tell me what my dick is telling me on a regular basis, whatever. Like, you know, if you can, again, going back to double standards, if a woman can blanket wipe off like, oh, well, I was PMSing, so I was emotional. If you can use your hormones as an excuse to not be accountable for your actions and your behavior, how dare you tell a man that if he's hormonal, that he's responsible for his actions? I personally am on the side of, yeah, our hormones can influence us, but are we intelligent beings that can behave ourselves? You can have a little bit of a sidestep and then adjust. Oh shit, catch yourself and adjust. But I'm sorry, I'm actually like, I believe, yes, if a guy's if the guy's listening to his dick and doing things, I'm not saying it's like it's super easy to ignore. Sometimes your fucking hormones are really going at you, but you're still responsible for your actions. That's my position. And I say, ladies, You're responsible for your actions. If you're hormonal, great. You're stronger, you're smarter than we are, cool. Then you should be able to behave yourselves the way you expect a man to behave himself when he's having a hormonal response with his body. I am an egalitarian. I believe in equality across the board. I'm not asking you ladies to hold to a different standard than what I hold men to. All right? Anyways, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know what people care about? People care about shit that's close to them. So, and I'm actually like the biggest thing that frustrates me with all of this is that I try to have conversations with guys all the time and get them to understand what it's like to the best of my understanding. Because again, I haven't had that experience, but to just be like, ladies, you know, you've told me, like you shared this shit with me and like to realize how scary it is. I've shared with podcast member before, like I've talked to women who are like, I know how to defend myself. If a guy's on top of me, I know how to like brace my arms there. I'm like, this is shit I've never had to learn because it's not a threat to me. That's privilege as well. Right. I had a good explanation of privilege the other day where it's like, it's not about white privilege is not like, oh, you grew up with a silver spoon and you had money and you never struggled. Like white privilege is just you're not in danger of losing your life by getting pulled over. Like, you know, you get pulled over by the cops because you're black. Like you're not getting that. That's a nice thing you get as privilege. People treat you differently because Caucasians, you know, have that privilege. You know, you go into a store and people aren't looking at you like you're going to steal. There are certain privileges that you have for being white, whether you like it or not, you know. Doesn't mean you can afford everything in the store. It just means that they're not following you around in it. You get what I'm saying? So there is a certain way. And women have that privilege too. Women like to kind of push the white privilege like it's only on a male thing. But males have a privilege too. And it's male, all races. Black male privilege, white male privilege. The male part is your privilege because as a guy, I don't really walk down the street and worry that someone's going to fuck me. I go behind bars. Yeah, that privilege is right out the fucking window. I will probably get raped. You know, if they're into fat chicks, that's me. You know, that's me in prison. I am the fat chick. The chubby chaser is going to be inside me. And I have no ass, by the way. I wish I had a big fat ass and hoped that there was like too much butt cheeks for them to get past, you know, penal system. That's why they call it the penal system. Eh? You get it? Ba-da-ba-ba-da, hack. Anyways, I'm just saying there's privileges out there. The one, but being a guy is I don't have to be scared, you know, of rape. I can get scared of murdered or being robbed. But like, I'm not worried when I just go to a buddy's house and hang out and sit there and talk that, you know, what if he tries to put the moves on me? You know what I mean? It might be nice for me to get a little bit of attention. No, I mean, I'm not trying to be an ass, trying to bring some levity to it. Just there's shit out there. And it does break my heart that women have to go through that shit. It's not fair to these beings that are adorable. This is not condescending or mansplaining. I find women absolutely adorable. They're sweet. They're kind. You know what I mean? Like they get excited for fucking lattes and Christmas. You know what I mean? They dance around for like they're just, it's like they stay children longer. Is he saying he's into kids? No, I'm just saying that it's like there's an innocence, a kindness, a sweetness, a positivity that women bring. So the idea that these fucking animals are, and that's the problem, right? Even if you're a nice person, like whatever gender, race, whatever, there's like, that's the thing of being a nice person. Like I just want to go around and help people. It's like, and unfortunately, the pieces of garbage prey on those people, which is the thing that sucks the most. So instead of like having dialogue where we can all empower each other and push those fucking people out into the bayou where they still live, the evils, the fucking women and fucking other colors and whatever, like all those horrible people who are so unhappy with themselves, so uneducated that they blame everybody else for their shit. Just like, why can't we bring the people together, you know? Listen to, right? Don't yell at people. Listen to where they're coming from and try to figure out, okay, where is the fucking bug in the code? You know what I mean? Like for me, the first thing, I've said it a few times already, for me, the bug in the code was I didn't realize that this happened as much as it did. So, and then just talking and instead of me blasting my opinions, which of course I'm the only one here, I have no choice but to say where I'm at. I would listen. I would ask questions and I would listen. And I was fortunate enough that sometimes I got into conversation with people who just want to yell at me and tell me I was the worst person. I haven't even done anything. I just asked about their experience. They wanted to talk about it. I asked and they got angry at me. Not telling me how dare I ask, but if they would say something, I go, yeah, but like if they were like, yeah, and every time a woman's assaulted and she says it, it's true. And I go, well, that can't be right. Statistically, oh my God, you're a fucking rape. I was like, wow, I'm on your side. I'm just trying to understand. Like you can't, anyways, it's unfortunate to me because I'd love for the dialogue to exist. I would love for people to be able to go, okay, well, where am I losing you? You know what I mean? Like what's the part you don't get? Like if someone's trying to explain what it's like to be a black person and they're white, it's like, you just don't know. You know, it's not to say that if they explain to you their experience that you couldn't get a synopsis of it, but you can't read the back of the book and understand the whole story. You can't read someone's journal and understand every moment of their life. All of it is amalgamation. So you can listen to someone's experiences and have a general idea, have the Coles notes, have the bullet points, but you get to also step away from it because, you're white. If it's a black person talking about their experience, you're white. So you heard what they go through, but you're never going to experience it firsthand. You know what I mean? You got no legs. I'm never going to be able to. You can understand what it's like to run. And I'm not trying to be a prick, but if you don't have legs, you don't know what it's like to run, at least thus far. Unless you had them before, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to fucking say that there's only so much you can describe before you get to experience it yourself. That's all. You're deaf. I can write down on paper what music sounds like. There's nothing I could do to make you hear it. No, I know music. You don't. I'm sorry. That was a terrible impression of a deaf person. But I like to be accurate in my renditions, right? If I'm going to go on this kind of a rant. Wow. 40-minute rant. All right. Black Christmas was a shit movie is what I was saying. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I did the merch for PS5. Boring. My buddy Jad and I went to Costco in Gatineau, which is the only one in the area that sells beer and booze. Well, not booze. They sell wine and the beer. So we got ourselves some. He got wine. I got beers. I had one earlier this evening. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Rickard's Red. There you go. A little free promo for them. I likes me a red beer from time to time. It was what I was drinking on the last episode, as a matter of fact. I have been eating those sandwiches that I made. Told you guys about last week. It's a fucking jam in the clutch back into first gear, right? Just grind fucking fifth to first gear switch from that last topic. But hey, here we are. I'm gonna have to put Black Christmas as one of the fucking taglines in this episode. It talks about Black Christmas. Wow. Someone's Googling podcast later looking for a review. Oh, I must think about watching that movie. Wow. Was I not prepared for that? Whatever. Again, egalitarian. I really do love everybody, and it's a shame. It fucking breaks my heart to see people go through anything. It really does. And I feel so fucking helpless a lot of the time. And that's why I wish people would talk. I wish a man could look at women and go what kind of a monster would that, you know what I mean? It's like, you just want to protect them. If you're any kind of a man, not to say that women need protection. I'm just saying that you look at somebody and go this person, to betray someone's trust to that level, it's fucking heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, to see someone of another color and treat them like they're not a fucking human being, blows my mind. That's again, it's unfathomable to me. And I think it's funny too, because I think a lot of people who are asking I could be wrong. This one I could be wrong. I think a lot of people who are asking the questions are people who want to understand. This one is just my opinion. I don't believe in it as hard as I believe in some of the other stuff, but I ask questions because I want to understand. That's why I get into these conversations. I don't want to be like, oh, fuck you, you're wrong. I want to go I want to know where you're coming from. I want to know why you believe this. Why do you think that? What is your experiences? It sucks for me to be like I said, going back to that abusive thing, to make somebody else feel the way they've made you feel it's a two wrongs do not make a right situation. So unfortunately, if that's like the closest to something good that can come out of the situation right now, if men are feeling like, well, we're not the fucking bad guys just because we're men, it's like, well, they're not less just because they're women. They're not inferior because they're women, right? Same thing with racial stuff, whatever. I'm moving on. Black Christmas sucked. I was eating those sandwiches, absolutely enjoying them with my little knockoff Sherwood sauce, toasted sourdough, little Boston lettuce on there with some turkey, ham, some cheeses. Absolutely killing it for me. And I bought Fritos from Costco. Now we've heard of them, Fritos, Frito-Lay company, right? Lay's chips. But Fritos, I've seen here before, but Fritos are always like the little corn, what the fuck are they? Little corn rectangles? Cooked corn rectangles? I don't know. What do you call them, guys? They're little corn chips, right? Little corn slices, whatever. I think they had them in like party mixes and stuff like that, but they were always covered in like barbecue or whatever. So, and I don't like synthetic flavored shit. I really don't. You know what I mean? Like the powders where you put your hand in a couple times, for chips, and you start to develop this film of just the powders on your fingers, like Dorito cheese or whatever. I don't like that shit. But these were the regular plain Fritos. Never seen them before. Now, I do not recall ever seeing them before. And so I was jazzed. I was like, hey, let me get a bag of these. Costco, huge bag, dirt cheap price. Amazing. I have fucked I was going to try to bring the joke back, but let's just let people cool down. I assaulted this bag of, I destroyed this bag of Fritos. Every time I had a sandwich, open it up, boom, little dollop of Fritos on the side. I was digging the fucking soft chewy of the sandwich and the crunch of the Fritos, man. I am about these. But here's the thing. I've been to a few Costco's lately, and only 2 of them seem to have the Fritos. So the last 2 that I went to did not have them. Disappointed. Because I'm trying not to go out constantly. Oh, there's the yacht starting. Boom, it's kickoff. So yeah, I've been about these Fritos, man. Regular Fritos, if you can find them, holy shit, are they game changers with a sandwich? A fucking sandwich, yeah, a little bit of Frito away. Go fuck yourself. It was great. And speaking of I played, let's see here. I'm just going to cross some stuff off the list here. I don't think we have time to talk about the Mandalorian, guys. Although we do know that he's not called Baby Yoda. We've known that since the beginning, but we didn't have anything to call him. Thus far in the season, we do know his name now. That's it. Mild spoiler. All you know is his name. That's it. Talking about the stickers that I was doing, just crossing some stuff off the old list here, guys. See where we can go here. Boom, boom, boom. One more reminder, Absolute Comedy, December 2nd through the 6th. If you want to see my stupid ass telling jokes and running my mouth, that's what I will be doing here in Ottawa at the Absolute Comedy Ottawa, absolutecomedy.ca for tickets and such. Loving the Fritos, and I did the meal box, guys. I did the meal box. I got a chef's plate. Buddy of mine, Peter, listener of the podcast, who actually last week I was saying him and I went to go see a show. Pete sent me a promo for chef's plate. Give them a little plug since I got a free box of food out of them. We did, it was like, your first week for free. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. Things are going to get a little busy, so I actually canceled. I'm going to be honest with you straight up. I canceled the thing as soon as I got the box because I'm like, I've got a lot going on and I don't even know how much. Way too much food still purchased from Costco to be getting like 4 meals a week to have to cook. That's only 3 days off from cooking. But what I got was, so here's the thing. I got 4 meals in a box. Just out of the bat, just off the bat, Jason, my roommate, has a membership to Good Food. All right. So there's Good Food, HelloFresh, Chef's Plate. I'll put them all out there in the mix. HelloFresh was the first one I'd heard of. I'd also heard of Blue Apron, but I don't know if they're in Canada. Blue Apron I've heard on other podcasts, but same idea. So Jason, my roommate, subscribes to Good Food, which is the stupidest name out of all of them. Good food. You want good food? We have good food. We have good food. Come to Good Food. We have good food. They have I think I'm eating wood. I had like my clipboard. I've been picking at it, and then I saw a little thing that looked like a little piece of chip or whatever. I was like, just pick it up with my finger, stick it in my mouth, and it was wood. Good for me, guys. I'm a fucking. I need supervision. at all times. So, Jay's got good food, and it comes really like it's a little wasteful, in the sense that the box comes and it's a bunch of bags, bunches in like Jay gets 3 meals a week. So it comes in these really nice bags. The presentation is beautiful, and the bag has all of the vegetables and stuff you're gonna be using in it. And then it'll have like the 3 meats on the side, in kind of the bottom section of the box with like a little freezer bag in there just to keep them cold. So the meats are fresh, not frozen. And they come in, like I said, these plastic bags. So the plastic bags are, yes, they're wasteful, sure. But you're getting everything that you need. The presentation of those bags is nice. The ingredients are like the stickers right on the outside of the bag with the meal name and everything like that, and the ingredients. And it looks really nice. And I've been answering the door because Jay fucks off during the day. I've been answering the door and putting his box away for the better part of a year now. So I saw good food, thought it was great. I came home Wednesday because Jad and I were out shopping and doing the PlayStation 5 merchandising. And I come home and I see that I apologize. I didn't see that the chef's plate box had come. I knew it was coming, but I go into the fridge and there's all these like what look like factory workers' lunch bags. Like, you know what I mean? Like the brown paper bag rolled up at the top, stuffed in the fridge. And I was like, who the fuck went out and got like a bunch of dirty takeout? Like that's what it looked like. A bunch of like dirty takeouts. Like, so like I moved the shit out of the way to like get to put some stuff in the back of the fridge, and I see the chef's plate stickers on the bags. And I was like, oh, gross. Like this was really gross presentation, like just rolled up and then a sticker slapped over the roll of the bag. And I was like, this is disgusting. In terms of presentation. Then I go in the fridge and, Jason's got frozen turkey, like turkey strips or whatever the fuck called, nuggets or whatever, frozen turkey in the freezer. So the turkey was frozen, and then there's like these big long fish fillets that are frozen. I thought that was Jason because they had no chef's plate logoing on them whatsoever. So I thought Jason had bought some fish. Also, none of the meals I ordered was I aware that there was fish as a part of them. And then in the fridge, there's like, fresh ground beef in a vacuum sealed bag or whatever package. And I was like, huh. So like, what's the other stuff? And then the turkey was like, oh, the turkey was frozen. So he's like, the fish and the turkey were frozen. So I put them in the freezer. And then I was like, oh, I thought these were all supposed to be like fresh ingredients. Like I've unboxed Jason stuff. Never once were any of the things that he was shipped ever frozen. So it's supposed to be fresh food at like $11 a portion or whatever it is. And so the meals I got were honey garlic turkey noodles. I got 1 pot basa curry rice, sushi bowl, like a vegetarian sushi bowl thing, and like a linguine bolognese or whatever. So basically spaghetti and meat sauce, effectively. I made the honey garlic turkey noodles, which were unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. So fucking good, guys. Basically that was interesting for me. This is my first meal prep thing. So I'm getting ready to I got to chop up the broccoli and the carrots. The carrots were already shredded. I had to chop up the broccoli and then throw that in a pan with some, oil and stuff and the shredded carrots and mixing that. So I'm basically what they called, steam frying the vegetables. They called steam fry. So it was like a couple tablespoons of water and some oil. So it was like sizzled away in a minute. And then I'm stirring the broccoli and the carrots together to wilt them or whatever. At the same time, I had to take like all the turkey pieces and like pat them dry so they didn't have any of the moisture from them being frozen, which shouldn't have been the case. Fresh food just never. In case anyone's like me and it wasn't until you started watching like kitchen nightmare shows with Ramsay going, well, what's the difference between fresh and frozen? I thought fresh was like it was just made now, but like fresh is not frozen. Like as soon as you freeze something, it's not fresh anymore. It's been frozen. Like, it's different. So I'm like, okay, I get it. So now that it's frozen, well, I thought I was supposed to be getting fresh food every week. Opened up the first, like I said, the thing, all the ingredients are there, like the bag of broccoli things and whatnot. I patted the turkey dry. I tossed it in mayonnaise and mayonnaise, and then I put panko breadcrumbs on it. So I rolled out in panko breadcrumbs, and then I pan fried it. That's what I was supposed to do. So we got the turkey going, the vegetables are searing. Then it was like adding in a bunch of like honey garlic sauce and water and rice vinegar and stuff like that. And then the noodles. So I made the noodles and the veggies, and then finally, when breaded turkey was done, I tossed that in a sriracha mayo that came with it, and then fucking boom, into my food. And it was 2 portions. It was amazing. So I packed it up in the container for tomorrow for one of them and ate the other portion then and there. Amazing. Loved it both times. Super delicious. That one was good. Then I made 1 pot basa curry rice. So it was like, or baha, or however the hell you're supposed to say that, B-A-S-A. And that's when I found out, I'm like, oh, that fish is mine. So I brought it out, the day before and put it in the fridge so it would thaw. And that one was like curry flavored. So, unfortunately they had sent me two of the curry powders in the package. I didn't realize that like some of them you need both of them, some of them you don't. So definitely read the ingredient card to make sure. So if it's like, a 32 gram package of this, you check. I was like, oh, is that, so how much was the one package? Oh, it's 32 grams. So that's the second one that they put in there. Cause sometimes you need 2 of them. That happened on a later recipe where we needed 2 of them and we checked. I said, wait, before you do that, because of this one, right? Before you do that, let's make sure we actually need both. And it turned out we did. But this one here was like, yeah, you need both of these curry things. Well, I put both curry packets in and it was so and I like curry. It was so overly coriander flavored that you couldn't taste anything but curry spice by the time I was done. And that one had zucchini and carrot. And this was the carrot I actually had to chop up. The previous one was shredded. This one I had to chop the carrot. So it was carrot and zucchini in a pot. And then I did the rice up, which was easy enough. In fact, the rice was added to the curry, so you didn't have to like steam it or cook it first. It was cooking with everything else in the pot. It was a 1-pot recipe. Then at one point you have like just lay the fish on top of it. That's what I said. Lay the fish on top and then wait and come back in 12 minutes when it's done steaming, and then you break it up and stir it into the curry. It was so much curry flavor. It would have been good with half the amount. So again, like read the recipe cards. I made a sushi bowl. Fucking delicious. To cut up. That was the one that took the most equipment to do. Like the previous one was 1 frying pan for the turkey and 1 pot for the noodles and vegetables. The 1 pot Baja was the best because everything was just on 1 pot. Just kept adding shit to it, which was amazing. This one was like, I had to put the rice in a pot, the sticky rice. I had to fry, what was I frying? I used the oven to bake the sweet potatoes, and I had to toss them and stuff. It was like a lot of tossing things and spices and stuff like that. And then I did the edamame and the cabbage in the thing. I also cut an avocado for the first time in my life because I don't normally do avocados. I have nothing against them, but everything I order with avocado, it's already peeled and sliced for me. It's just right there ready to go. So I'm like, oh, thanks. Or guac is what I have or whatever. So yeah. And that was interesting. So the sushi bowl was like vinegar and soy on sticky rice. And then I had cabbage and edamame. It was cooked, that had some soy cooked into it. This ginger sesame dressing that we put on the potatoes, the sweet potatoes that came out. I say we because I ate it with Jay, so I had one and he had one. This was one I definitely wish I had fucking saved. We did a sriracha mayo that went over top. Delicious. And then the very last one, the linguine bolognese, was pathetic. I actually was chatting with my friend Izzy and we were going to get together on Monday. So I was saying, hey, I got one of those meal kits. You want to cook together? She's like, absolutely. Because it's nice we get together and we'll have dinner or whatever. It's pretty sweet. So we got together. We did a quick little run to Costco. She picked up some stuff. And then we made this like linguine bolognese. Easily the most boring of them. Like both of us kind of looked at it sideways like, really? So here's the thing. The green onions that came in my sushi bowl thing were rotten. Just rotten. Didn't care. I'm not a big green onion guy. Throw it in the garbage. Then when we got and these are all under a week, by the way. So her first question to me was like, how long ago did you get these? Did you get this more than a week ago? I go, no, it's been less than a week. I go, I got it on Wednesday and it's Monday. It's 5 days. Today is the 5th day. And she's like, huh. So we already I had the green onion was gone. The fish, the chicken, turkey and fish. Turkey and fish were frozen when I got them. We cut into the pepper because there was supposed to be a pepper with this like linguine bolognese, and the thing had black mold in the bottom of it and white mold growing off of where the seeds and the core are. So this pepper was rotten already. like already gone, moldy everything, which was disgusting. Then we make the meal. It's got an onion in it. So we did onion, we did tomato paste and tomato like sauce base or whatever. And then, browned a little bit of ground beef. There really wasn't a lot of it, but browned the ground beef, put the tomato paste and everything. It was basically like the way Izzy put it was she's like, I've done these before, and this is like make your own tomato sauce. Like you can go and buy a jar of this tomato sauce done. And it's like the spices on the side of it. She's like, but you're basically just making tomato sauce. You've got chopped tomato, onion, the spices, tomato paste, and herbs and spices. Like this is stuff you get all together in a tomato sauce. You get more of it in a jar for like $2. And she's like, and then the pasta's like nothing. So the two of us were like, so we got noodles, a pepper, an onion, a very small onion. This onion was the size of a golf ball, for the record, a yellow onion, the size of a golf ball. So we're like, you can get all of this stuff, the linguine, and there was a little bit of balsamic vinegar. So really not much to this recipe. It was the most disappointing out of all of them because all the rest of them were outstanding. And stuff like avocados and like several vegetables and some protein and stuff. It was like nice. You know what I mean? Like you're like, okay, I'm getting my bang for my buck, and it's a delicious meal. This was like boring ass, really boring ass spaghetti sauce and then linguine noodles. And you're like, you could have made what we had for $5. Portion wise and everything for $5, and we're paying over $20 for this meal because that's what. So I was like, that one I really don't like. That was like a phone it in meal. And I said, she's like, well, you are getting it delivered. And I go, you know what? I would sacrifice 50% cost for the delivery, just like other people do. You go to McDonald's for $10, or you have it delivered to Uber Eats for like $23, which makes no sense to me. But the whole idea is, I'm like, yeah, if this cost us, $10 in ingredients and we got it for 20, sure. But we just both agreed that if we spent $10 on ingredients, we would both have had a better meal, more meat, more sauce, and we would have had leftovers that we could have packed for another day for $10 versus what we got for 20 something from that. So that was the most disappointing meal. All right, where are we? We're at the hour mark. All right, listen, guys. Big disappointment from Chef's Plate. The presentation was shit. Brown paper bags that looked like garbage, rotten vegetables, frozen meats. And then of course the last one was like the value. It was like, really? Like I've been making spaghetti and meat sauce out of my cabinet. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to reverse engineer it. There's already meat in it. There's already spices. There's already tomato paste. It's done for me. It cost me $2 for a giant jar of it, So anyways, thumbs down. All right, guys. Headlining Absolute Comedy 2nd through the 6th. AbsoluteComedy.ca to get your tickets if you want. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast, guys. I'm sorry I was long-winded there for a while, but fuck, did it ever help fill the hour, right? I love you. And a side note or complete on pace with this. Send me an email. contact@onemanpodcast.com. If you don't agree or if you have something to share it. I'll give you a platform. I will read everything that you say. You know what I mean? I want to know what you guys think. That's the beauty of this, is that just because I'm running my mouth doesn't mean that like I get to talk and you don't. If you want to share something or thought on something, I don't even care if it's related to the shit I was ranting about. Just anything that you want to share, here's your platform. I will share it with my audience. Whatever you write, you wear on your own, just like I wear my own shit on my own. But I'll say it. I'll read it for you. All right, gang. You guys have a great week. The holiday season's coming. We're in December now. First socially distanced, people not going home for old Jesus's B-Day there. So I hope you guys are having fun. The sooner everyone comes to terms with the fact that we're going to be by ourselves, or at least much smaller groups for the holidays this year, the easier it'll be for everyone. But let's get through it. Let's be smart and let's do things the right way, and then we can go back to normal faster. In the meantime, I'm thinking of you. I'm sending nothing but love to each and every one of you. Every underdog gets my support all the time, I promise. And that's it. Have a great week, guys. I'll chat with you again soon.